First of all, before I get started, I want to do a tip of the hat to regional salutations and greetings. I got a good friend, Vinny Scarano. He's from the Bronx. He says, "How you doing?" He's got a cousin that lives right across the river. He says, "How you doing?" I'm from Macon, Georgia, and we say, "How mom and them?" Well, before I get started, I tell you there's 2 or 3 things that really bother me. I want y'all to help me with this. First of all, why is it that we park in the driveway and drive on the parkway? When you go to the grocery store to get olive oil and it says extra virgin, it's like being extra how can you be extra virgin? I don't understand that stuff. I don't know, but here's my thing. Raise your hand. I know this is an intellectually elevated crowd, but I got more balls and brains, so I'm going to go ahead and act like I belong. If you know what a raconteur is, raise your hand. Keep your hand up. A raconteur is somebody that's blessed to tell a good story. Now raise your hand and say, "Hell, I knew that." Pat Conroy, rest in peace, Pat. Chris Tides, Grace Santini, Beach Music, on and on and on. He's my man. I tried for 3 years before he died on Fripp Island to get in touch with him. And he had a gift of prose that nobody else has. And I'm going to prove to y'all now that I got more sand than brain. Raise your hands if you got a subject. I'm going to tell 1 or 2 stories, captivating, hopefully funny, on any story you got. Raise your hand if you got a story. Okay, we're going to start with the stumper over here. Pee Wee Herman, what you got?
You know what? I had nothing. I was just raising my hand because I wanted to be a part of the group.
No, ma'am, I'm one of the founding members of the Criminally Insane here in Middle Georgia. Here's a true story about my grandfather. I'm James Howard Collins III, or Jimbo Sparks, depending on, there's a lot of different things, but it's complicated, but I'll be glad to explain it to you. This is a true story. My grandfather, he lived out here just past 7 Bridges. His father's mother was a full-blooded Cherokee Indian. I'm a 16th, and I can qualify for all that minority loans if I had the cash to go with it. But my grandfather, when he was 14 years old, they were living in Texarkana, and his little brother was 12. When their parents went to sleep, they got literally a rucksack, a red bandana with a stick, and packed him some underwear and some biscuits, and climbed out the bedroom window, and they hopped a freight train into, that time it was Camp Polk, Louisiana. And they signed up to fight the First World War, 12 and 14. It's a true story. They were marching to breakfast one morning, and a sergeant was marching his platoon back from breakfast, and he recognized my granddaddy and his little brother, James, Albert, and John. And he took them down to the company headquarters, and they sent a telegram to his daddy and said, "We're sending your 2 boys home on the train." And my grandfather told me, he said, "Jimbo," that's easy to remember, it rhymes with Dumbo. He said, we hadn't been 30 miles from Texarkana, and I was 14 and my little brother was 12. And we were less than a week from going over there to the Second World War. He said, ain't no way we would have lived. He said, but by the grace of God and by that man marching his troops back to from breakfast, he said, we got saved. And I'm sure there's a moral of this story. I have no idea what it is. Thank y'all.